your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin-yang, come along. Well, we flew through Cincinnati and we all got really happy. Grabbed a bowl of that Skyline chili along the way. Then we rolled on into Canton, scared the hell out of Marilyn Manson, and the party started happening. Hey, hey, hey. Hand in the... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast, episode 159, I think it is. I need to keep track of these names, guys. How are we doing, gents? Matt and Jeff?
Doing well, thanks.
Or in the words of one of our guests, Mr. Strokeface.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that, but that's all good, you know.
That was bad internet. We'll call that Nebraska internet. That's what we're going to do for you.
Yep, definitely.
And Jeff, how are you doing up there in Wheeling, West Virginia?
Good. A lot of exciting stuff. I like it.
A lot of big name signings, especially around the indoor community, especially Grant Russell, quarterback, returning to the 2023 AAL champions. Andrew Proskashka, if I think I pronounce his name again. Matt, you know his name. Prohaska signed back to Sioux City. We're doing good.
It didn't take long. Not long at all.
That's Ricky for you. There's other players that are signed. We'll get to that later in the show, some big name signings. But first off, we have two guests here tonight. First part, we're going to have a short segment with the commissioner himself, discuss NAL-related news, the expansion of the 12th franchise of Beaumont Renegades, and other things that he might tease or leak or release, whatever. That's the commissioner himself. He'll do it. And then we'll have Sam Gordon of the Beaumont Renegades on the second part of the show to talk all things Renegades, about what the organization is going to do, what their plans are going to do, fan interaction. Send your questions now. This is the show for you guys, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast. So let's bring on our first guest, none other than the commissioner of the National Arena League, Todd Walkenhorst. Commish, how you doing?
I'm happy that it was just a buffering issue and Matt did not stroke out.
Me too.
I mean, I don't speak for everybody, but I'll for myself, I'm happy that he did not stroke out.
Ring size is a 10. Just saying.
Hey, Ricky, so is mine. You can wear my miners rig this coming year if you want to.
Ooh.
This is supposed to be a podcast to be informative, not taking shots at it.
I didn't know Coach Rez was on here.
Hey, that's a shot Coach Rez would be.
You just awoken him. He's gonna come up nowhere and start bombarding the chat.
His name and he.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, I'm done.
I'm telling you guys so much stuff in these podcasts. I get these owners now on here making sure I stay in line and not tell you too much anymore. So I'm probation.
Hey, what do you say? Without us, the league will be dull. There won't be no trash talking. At least the trash talk is on social media where there's receipts that can be made. At a later date.
Yeah, record it, keep it, bring it back out in 6 months. We'll see where we're at.
Or if it fails, put a new paint, a coated paint on it, and rearrange letters and make it look new. But yeah, we can do things like that too.
That's very subtle.
My bad.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
NA1. I think it's sell.
I think we got what we. I think I like what we have. I think I'll. I think we'll stick with that. I think we got a good thing going here.
Yeah. Commish, over the past week, we introduced the 12th franchise, the Beaumont Renegades. A couple weeks ago, we introduced Shreveport and Amarillo. I think you guys have meetings coming up pretty soon to discuss other stuff. What's the future of next couple of weeks of the NAL, and do we expect anything to be announced in the next couple of days or weeks?
We'll announce something. I have no idea what, but I'll come up with something. We'll announce something. We'll keep you on your toes. But no, in all seriousness, so that was, bringing on a 12th team was a big deal for us. That was a real good thing. I guess I kind of feel like I don't want to be a jerk about it or anything, but I will throw out there that, we, spend a lot of time trying to make sure we do this right. Again, I know it's, I think I always say, I used to be on the chief staff of Marty Schottenheimer. You always told, it's a results-based business, so this is the fun time, as we know. Anybody can pretend to be anything right now, and you can promote anything, and we've seen it a lot throughout the years, but it really comes down to performing once we put it all together. And I think we're going the right direction. Of course, as you know, I came in late last year. I wasn't even here this time last year, but that's not an excuse. So, I mean, we don't have a great track record yet, but we're still, we got things to prove. But I like where we're at. We got 12 teams here. And one of the things that we did do this year, and we've talked about, is being very intentional with our expansion and evaluating franchises that we brought in. And, as you said, Beaumont, we announced this week. I think you got Sam Gordon coming on here afterwards. This is something that I think this is an example. I'll give you a little behind the scenes on this. This is a one of the teams that, we spent a lot of time with. I know I actually was watching somewhere else on one of these groups that they announced that Beaumont was in the NAL like 2 months ago, along with other teams that are not in the NAL, so I guess they're just going for, whatever. But what's disappointing is when people throw that stuff out there, it makes the industry look bad, because, we were talking about Beaumont. We were talking with a lot of other teams too. Beaumont went through and did what they needed to do, what we needed them to do, what they needed us to do to make that work. And, Sam will come on, you can talk with him about that, but there's a process to that. And the one thing that, I think Sam will talk about as well is they spend time. I mean, they spent about a year putting this thing together. Their structure's been there. They were kind of looking at the AIF a year ago. That didn't happen. They, I think, made a very good decision to make sure they had everything in order and have a successful launch in a league that they thought was a good fit for them in 2025. So once all that got put together, literally just in the last week or so, we were able to make that move with Beaumont and bring them on. So, again, the internet, is out there and they throw all this stuff around. It makes it look like that's just chaos and nobody knows what they're doing. But there's a process to this. And, Beaumont is very professional in providing everything that we needed for it. And, again, there are franchises, multiple franchises that did apply for NAL membership that did not and will not get accepted for 2025. So just to kind of throw all that out there, what that's all about. We're, again, excited to have Beaumont. We are going to be doing an official press release or a press conference. Excuse me. They did the press release. I'll be down there on the 24th, which is a Tuesday, and we'll be rolling it out right. We look forward to getting down there and working with them.
Matt.
So you mentioned that, you guys got 12 teams now and that there were teams that applied that aren't going to get in for 2025. So does that mean that we are capped at 12 for the 2025 season at the National Arena League?
I don't recall saying that.
Okay.
I will, maybe I'll put a little teaser. I'll say we're at 85% chance of being at 12. There's still a couple things we're going to, we haven't closed the door completely on 2025 yet. But the door is closing because, we've got schedules put together already, arenas and whatnot. But still have a couple conversations that we want to exhaust completely. And, again, we're not going to do anything that doesn't make sense for the league. It would have to be a team and something that's a really good fit for us because, as you know, 12 is a very good number, right? I mean, it's even, and there's symmetry, how we did divisions, all that. 13 is a weird number. Not saying we would not do that, or even 14, but, it'd have to be a very good fit. Not ruling it out yet. I can't say 100%, but, it's still only September. I still got a little bit of time.
So to piggyback off of that real quick, is there a possibility of, if somebody decides to come in later, could that be a announcement for 2026? Maybe a possibility.
It could be, and that's something that we, not to get too into it, something we do kind of work on with some of these. I mean, if we don't think they're a good fit for this year, we may say, hey, let's position for 2026. I wouldn't necessarily anticipate making an announcement at this point that they're a 2026 team. I would be more inclined to work with them for a 2026 membership, unless everything just was there and it was just a timing issue that, we couldn't get the arena or whatever. Or, I mean, I think something that was very underrated is what Wheeling did last year. They went into a league where, they're able to get everything organized and really put together a franchise that's going to come in here and be one of our top franchises in the National Arena League on every level of that franchise, both on the field, off the field, broadcasting, media, PR, whatnot. I think that's a great model that, as things are kind of during the off season, that I've actually kind of encouraged other teams to look at. I sometimes just starting at a league like, our size or some of these other bigger leagues, that may not be the first, stop for these teams. I think there's some, sometimes you got to work with the egos and whatnot too, but there's a benefit to working through the process and doing things right, take some baby steps, and then, get in that way. So, we're kind of looking at some long-term solutions for not just the National Arena League, but our teams, our business. I mean, there's so many people that don't do things correctly. And that just, we've talked about that all the time. We never want to see other leagues fail. I mean, we've never come on here and go, oh, I hope they fail. I mean, Matt might, but, it's not in our best interest for that because it hurts us. I mean, as a business, there's not a lot of upside when those teams and leagues fail because the general public sees indoor arena football. To them, they don't separate the leagues and whatnot. So for us, we want to see the whole industry grow.
Man, you're taking shots today, Commish.
I'm a little. I'll be honest. I'm a little edgy. It's been a long day. I've had a couple things, so this has been on my calendar all day. I just been coming ready to fire shots. I'm ready.
I could tell sometimes with our conversations, like, yeah, he sounds like he's pissed for some odd reason.
You just get one too many phone calls or one too many questions in the day. Sometimes, didn't sleep well, whatever, But no, I mean, it's, sometimes we're just a little too honest too, I suppose. But I've always been pretty direct and transparent with what we're doing here. And I don't think you can go back on any of these conversations we had and find too many. I might have been wrong on a few things, but I don't think I misled anybody on anything or just put something out there that's just totally inaccurate intentionally.
Jeff, we need an independent fact checker.
Yeah, go through it. It's a lot of exciting video. Go back and double check all that. I'm sure you'll sign up for that job in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The common question that we're getting in the chat is there regional play or divisional play? Is that the goal for currently if we stay at the 12 team format?
We will likely have some sort of either divisions or conference or whatever. And I gotta be a little careful on this. I think we get hung up on that a little bit. I mean, I will guarantee you that scheduling is regionally based though. And, we are very aware of travel. I sometimes have to remind our owners on the call, that's an A it's NAL, not NFL. That's an A, not an F. We've got budgets, we've got limitations, we got arena limitations, whatnot. We are aware of costs. I mean, that's just the honest, part of our business approach. So it makes sense. We will have some pretty regional play. How it's exactly divided up and how we lay it out, That's to be seen. Again, 12, it's going to be a little easier than 13, but I think end of the day, you'll like what we're doing, and I think it'll be competitive, and I think we're going to have. Give me some drinks. I'm saying you're drinking iced tea. I need to put something else in here, but I think you guys will like what we're doing. I can say we're going to have more than 2 teams in the playoffs. Thank God. It was a great playoff last year. Don't get me wrong, but I think we will probably be at that 8-team range for playoffs. I'm looking forward to that, and I know our teams are looking forward to that too. There's some benefit to that bye and everything, but let's be honest, people want to play. People want to see these teams play. Again, it's not the NFL. We don't have parity in the schedules or whatnot. So, my goal is to have that 3 rounds of playoffs, keep it exciting as long as we can into the regular season, keep everybody hopefully competitive. Like I told you, if I got 12 teams or 13, I want to see everybody 5-5 at the end of the year. That'd be awesome. I just want to see very competitive teams out there, and everything we could do to help these teams, create that. We want to do. So I think the fans are going to like, based on the teams we have, based on the staffs that we have, based on the staffs we're bringing on. I can't wait. Like I said, I'll be down in Beaumont, not next week, but the week after. Get on the ground there, see their operations. Hopefully get over to Amarillo shortly as well. Everything I've seen, everybody I've talked to, I'm very happy with the people we have in place.
That's positive. But also what people don't realize is that those extra home playoff games is just additional revenue that a team was not projecting when they got into the season. For some teams.
Yes, for some teams. That's the catch-22 of this business, right? There's teams that it is a profit, right? Mm-hmm. But I'll let you a little secret too. I'll take Omaha because they're the obvious, big one. Was not the case this year. I don't think was the case last year either, but they have had times where they go in the playoffs and, it's summer. There's other things going on and it's tougher to sell tickets. It's tougher to, there's vacations, whatever. Omaha has some unique, situations with the College World Series being in town then, all that. So it's not necessarily the cash grab you think it is. And if you don't draw that well to begin with, it might be worse. So we do have to be aware of that a little bit. Keep an eye on our teams to hopefully, build that momentum during the regular season. So if they do get that playoff, they aren't, we don't want to punish them financially for making the playoffs. That's the goal is to try to do that as well. And I'll be honest, that's why we're at 10-game season too right now, because, if we were making a boatload of money every game, we'd be playing more games, trust me. But that's not the nature of this business right now. So I'm not saying it won't be. I mean, that's my goal. You can ask these guys, I would like to be at 12 games. I've got some people that like to do that, but we've already decided, obviously, it's not happening in 2024. But, if we get some of these other revenue streams going like we want to, and again, it just starts with doing our things consistently, solid, putting out a good product and then growing. And that's kind of our philosophy on that. Again, we're moving in the right direction. I'm pretty excited about it.
So it's 10 regular season games, and a team can get how many exposition or a game preseason games? Like one.
You can do 2 if you want to. Most that do it will do 1. A couple won't do any. Again, it gets back to, like we said, some can sell them. And so they want to do it, and it makes sense to do that. And we just don't want to devalue the regular season, and look semi-pro-ish. And, it's tough with the exhibition games because you bring, teams in that, are not necessarily the same level, but, the SEC does it too, like week 11 of the regular season. They have cash grab week in middle of November where they're all playing some team you never heard of too. So that's on us to market a little bit. It always does crack me up when they're like, "Oh, you're just trying to make extra money." Well, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, this is a profit-driven business. It's not a nonprofit intentionally. We do want to try to make money, and that's one of the ways we do that. So, we're just talking about that this week. if there's ways for teams to make revenue, I'm not going to limit them from making revenue. So if a guy can do 2 exhibition games, I just want him front loaded. I don't want him showing up later in the season, because then it gets a little dicey, whether the team's still, competitive or in the race, and if the fans, are involved still or not. So that's kind of what we've been encouraging our teams that do want to do that. We may have 1 or 2 teams at the most that do that.
Okay. So basically similar to like last year.
Pretty much. We had some, what do you call, it's semantics to me. I call them exhibition games or preseason if they're before the season. We tend to say non-league if they're during the season. Non-league tends to be a fill-in game. It's not a secret. We had to have a couple of those last year because, a couple teams did not perform like we thought they would and, show up for the whole season. Hopefully we've corrected that. That's the work we're doing now during the off season. That's our goal. That's my number one goal, is to not have any of those, or, however many teams I start with is what I finish with. So, if we have those games on the schedule, obviously it's a lot more palatable than if we schedule those games, during the season. So, that's kind of the difference. And again, if somebody wants to have 2, then I'm probably not going to stop them from doing that. I know 3 or 4 will have 1, and probably 3 or 4 won't have any.
Matt.
So we've started to see the teams are announcing their signings that they've got on their rosters and stuff like that. And as a fan, it's kind of cool to see some of the teams are signing some decently big name guys. So as a commissioner, what does it mean to you to see guys that used to be former NFL players that are now signing with some of the teams here in the National Arena League? And how do you think that's going to affect the fan reaction to the league this upcoming season?
I'm going to give you an answer that you totally are not expecting here. I really, for the most part, can't tell you who signed who at this point. I was working more on the logistics. We're doing some new things, making sure that the transaction process was working, that our free agency process was working. I get the waiver, I get the list, and okay, cool, it's working. I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at the names for the most part. I've seen a few things. Oh, these people are resigning. There's, if you've been in these indoor leagues, you're seeing some. What I'm seeing is, here's what I'm actually more impressed with. And I guess we have had some big name signings, and that's always great. But again, hopefully they show up in March, right? Because I can sign anybody right now, so it's more important in March. But what I've really liked is I'm seeing teams, though, re-signing their players and doing that now. And let me tell you why that's important. One, obviously continuity. Fans recognize their players, and that draws, following. 2, it's no secret these players have some options in which leagues they want to play in. So, if they're committing in September to play in the National Arena League and with the franchises they've chosen, that to me is a bigger deal, because they've went ahead and made that decision now that they like what we are doing, and they want to be a part of that going forward. So, and maybe they think there's some scarcity there that I better sign up now and make sure I ensure that spot too. So that's what I'm looking at more. I'll get into the fan part later, when we get closer to the season and see who's doing what, and get into all that. But just seeing those signings and the fan reactions that, people are excited when they re-sign their own fans. It's Sioux City is a great one, a great example. I've watched Sioux City for several years. I don't recall them signing this many players early. So I think that's fantastic to see a team that went to the championship game re-signing their players right now, and I think our transactions are public right now, so you can see all the teams that are signing them. So that's something we will probably continue to do, to leave that public for right now. I think it's great that the teams are taking advantage of it.
Jeff.
And with the new teams coming in and stuff, and what fan base are you excited to either see come back or a new one added to the league?
That's a good question. I'm interested. I'm obviously interested in all of them. That's the right answer, right? But no, I from just my brief trip to Shreveport, there's a lot of excitement down there, with the operations, and they have a kind of a built-in fan base with the hockey team that's already there. And so they've got some of the culture already in place in a unique building. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Beaumont because that's a nice arena. I think it seats up to 9,000 people down there. We'll see how they configure it for their games. I would love for them to sell 9,000 tickets. That'd be a great thing. But I'm going to guess they're going to be slightly below that. But it's a football loving area too. So it'll be fun to see that. It's going to be fun to see when I have Shreveport and Beaumont and Corpus Christi. Those are not long trips. So I'm hoping to see fans that are making those trips to see the road games of their rivals. So I'm excited to see some of that as well. I'm going to try to get out. Again, we're a little cost conscious, but I want to see obviously Wheeling what they're doing out there. I want to see Columbus. Both of them. They go undefeated. You're doing something right, no matter what league it's in. So I want to see what they're doing. And part of it's not just, you got to remember when you're in my position, it's not just, when I go out, I want to see the operations too, and what they're doing, what we can learn as a league, if there's something we can take to the other teams, if there's something we can help those teams with and whatnot. So for me, those are learning experiences when we go to new venues. So just to have new venues this year is exciting to me.
The biggest off-season expansion in NAL history.
Is it? I suppose it would be, right?
Yeah, because the most of the teams that the NAL has ever had is 8. We're at 12.
Really? Okay. That's I thought it was 10. I never really looked at that. I should know that, obviously.
Technically, yes, but 10 never got to the actual season.
Yeah, it helps if they get to the season. There's no doubt about that. But well, yeah, Negron's like barbecue. He knows how to get me. There's barbecue. We'll go to Carolina.
Man, people want to give you shots, margaritas, and now barbecue.
Man, I must be doing something right. I mean, that's good. If I have to pick up a tab in any season, I'm going to be really disappointed. But
if you go to Wheeling, you got to go to River City. They have good food there.
I keep hearing about all these experiences, and now the N actually means something, right? We're kind of a national league, and we've got some very different markets. Omaha is different than Amarillo, I tell you that. Carolina is going to be different than Sioux City.
Omaha's known for their seafood.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's great that we are able to have all those diverse markets now in the league, and again, if we have a great product across the board for them, it's just going to be something that I think is going to be good for us, and we'll see what happens in 2026. Let's get through a strong 2025.
So, Kamish, is there no actual announcements coming, or are we just wait and see until
there will be announcements within the next probably week, or what's today? Tomorrow's Friday, so within the next week or so, we will be either announcing a schedule, or we'll be announcing another team and then readjust. I'll be honest, we have a completed schedule right now. If we go with 12 teams, if we make any other changes, we're holding it until we have all of our ducks in a row on it, because we don't want to release schedules and change schedules. There's we'll take heat on that. Plus, and rightfully so, you look stupid if you do that. So we don't want to do that. But we'll make sure that we are done with expansion. But I do have a schedule today that we could release, to be honest with you. But if we had a team, obviously we're going to have to redo that. So there'll be, by the end of the month, we're going to know which teams we have. It would take a incredible scenario to have expansion after the end of this month. So by the end of the month, we'll be rolling with 2025 information.
All right. Well, Kamish, it's getting feisty in the chat between the two rivals of Carolina.
I got to get out of the way. I know you got guests in the green room, and let you move on and introduce yourself to Beaumont, and hopefully we'll hook you guys up, and like I said, we'll be down there in about 12 days, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, will be the plan, Kamish. I want to say thank you for joining the show, and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll keep in touch. Let me know what we need to do, and hey, let's ride, because this is going to be entertaining off season. Well, it's already been entertaining.
I didn't get the right background. I feel left out.
You are the Kamish.
I didn't get the green screen memo.
It's also sad is that now that we've had some interaction with the fans, you need to get margaritas and shots. You need
I know, I got my Paul Tagliabue no gambling sign that I stole out of the Seahawks locker room back there. So, it doesn't say anything about drinking or barbecue or anything like that. Just as long as they don't gamble on the games, that's what I learned. So we're good.
All right. Well, Commish, appreciate it. And folks, when we come back, we'll introduce the Renegades to the NAL with Sam Gordon and talk about what's going on down in Beaumont and much, much more. Fans, send your questions, getting more information from Texas coming up next after this commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Well, we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along. Well, we flew through Cincinnati and we all got really happy. Grabbed a bowl of that Skyline chili along the way. Then we rolled on into Canton, scared the hell out of Marilyn Manson, and the party started happening. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition, or a second. Where are we in? We're not in another edition. We're in the second half of the show. I'm messing up already. Matt, you take over the show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here live for our next part of our episode. Jim's gone. I don't know where he went. He's not here, but we're going to bring on our next guest. I'm just kidding. Jim's right here, guys. He's back. He's with
I'm on the wrong side of the string, dang it.
You are on the wrong side. Fix that, Jim. No, there we go. We got you fixed. But guys, seriously, we're excited. We're excited to bring Beaumont into the fold here in the National Arena League. So without further adu, here he is from the Beaumont Renegades, Mr. Sam Gordon.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, welcome to the podcast, Sam. How are you?
You guys got me up at 9:15 at night. Come on, let's get this going.
9:45. Oh, come on, man.
Nah, I'm sorry. Well, it's been been a while since I had a late night cram in college, so.
Hey, gotta get used to it. This interstate gets you up late. There'd be some days that me and Matt and Jeff are preparing for stuff. We look at the clock, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. We're like, oh, yeah, not good.
Oh, man.
So first off, you have a history of the area of Beaumont, but you also have connections, especially with the NFL player that was associated with your club over the last couple of months, and he recently passed away. How big was his influence to the Beaumont community and for the organization before the tragedy?
Well, hi, Coach Rez. I just saw that in the in the chat. Coach Jones, he's a forever coach. What he did in his short time with us and behind the scenes and in Beaumont, with the events that we went to, he was just the quintessential arena coach that you want in the community, that you want in touch with the fans, and to be accessible to the fans, and at the hotel, everybody's walking up to him, and Jacoby's giving everybody the time of day, and it was really sad to get that call early in the morning. But Coach Jones is missed, and like we announced with the NAL announcement, we will be retiring his number. The first year, nobody on the Beaumont Renegades will wear the number 12. But Jacoby, we're all in for Jacoby, and his presence is still felt with the players that we have signed, who have talked about him in passing and have wished their condolences as they've come in as members of the team. and with the current coaching staff and management. So.
Yeah, and Coach Jones, obviously we send our condolences still to his family and all of you guys down there in Beaumont. But just talk about kind of what the excitement level is there in Beaumont for the Renegades and them joining the National Arena League for the 2025 season.
Well, guys, if I were to say that it was an easy road to establish this team in Beaumont, I would be the biggest liar there is. Beaumont is a city that is very, very, very picky about who comes in and out. There have been teams that have tried and have failed, more so failed. The Beaumont Drillers were a consistent team. That we call them the team that shall not be named because of what happened at the end. But with different minor league teams, there's been too much exodus and not much consistency with the teams that come and gone. So with a couple years of visiting chamber meetings and going around to businesses, shaking hands, and telling them, hey, we're here, we're not full of crap. This is not some jump cash grab, get out. We want to give Beaumont, which was once called the football capital of the world, still is, a team of their own. And it's a college town with Lamar, and it's a long road, but we got here, and we're very excited to be competing on the stage with teams like Omaha, Carolina, and Sioux City.
So, Sam, I have a question. So what was this decision to go with the color scheme and also the name, the Renegades?
Oh, the Renegade. My co-owner, Darren Griffin, from Beaumont. He had a rap career. His name was the Texas Renegade, if you will. And we were sitting in a room together, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get you back in the game. I'm going to get you back into arena football. And you know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to put it in your hometown, and we're going to name the team after you. So there goes. So there went the name, the Renegades, and and with Renegade, we wanted to, go against the grain, and and try different things, and just red and black. It seemed very, very fitting, with the college in the area as well. The college in the area as well with Lamar.
So my my next question, with you guys, having the Renegades, Sioux City having the Bandits, are we going to have a battle for the Cowboy Hat Game here? I mean, is that something we could see?
Our Cowboy is dead. So yeah, so that's the thing about the logo, is this guy is dead. So he's still going on. He's still riding on, and he's being a renegade to what the life cycle is, if you will, and still going. I don't know, like Ghost Rider, essentially.
Maybe we'll have maybe to answer Coach Rez's question. Maybe we'll have him on live if we end up going to Beaumont.
Coach Rez, I don't know if he will be performing at halftime. You're gonna have to ask him. He goes on tangents. I usually cover my ears. But no, I'm kidding.
Who we talking about? Sorry, I was gone.
I'm talking
Someone was
about
knocking on.
Darren. I was responding to Coach Rez.
The co-owner, one of the co-owners. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he had a rap career.
Sorry, it's almost 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast, and there's people going door to door asking people to register to vote.
Oh
Are
yeah,
they
somebody
asking to
just
get
knocked.
are they asking to get shot at this night? But anyways, that was my reason why I had to go answer the door because people were banging on my door. I thought it was someone I know, but do apologize.
No
Uh,
worries.
12 team, you
hmm
guys, we saw you make an announcement sometime last year about joining the AIF, but
Yeah.
that didn't come to fruition. And now you're in the NAL, so that's that one long year buildup to get to where you're at today.
hmm
What's you and the organization planning on, just not in just in the coming days, but in the future weeks to months, to get the city of Beaumont, especially the community, to realize that hey, we got a team here in a nice arena. I think it's what Ford Arena is the name of the
hmm
building that you guys are playing
Doggett
at.
Ford. Doggett Ford Arena.
So at local, I think that's like a fairground area. Am I correct?
That is, yes. It has a outdoor concert. I don't know what you call it.
Convention center, amphitheater type of ordeal.
Amphitheater. It's got an amphitheater, and it's right next to a high school. And it's got the arena right there that they use for conventions, concerts, and so on.
So, is there any plans in the coming weeks, days to get the message out? Any events, anything going on
Oh,
to
we're
get the?
always trying to get the message out. It's as an owner, you never stop, and especially of a team that hasn't played a single down yet. The All you can do is get the message out, and all you can do is get people, try to get people hyped up for what is now their team. Um, we have people on the ground there already. My co-owner Darren Griffin, who's there, Richard Sickler, who's our director of marketing and sales, who's fantastic. Did some great work up in the Gillette and Omaha markets. And he's come in and worked wonders for us. But we never stop. We're designing what our footballs are going to look like, what our jerseys are going to look like. We're going to have those announcements very soon. And on my side of things with the coaching staff, signing players. So yay, we finally get to do the fun part after 2 years. Um, so to answer your question, yeah, we're not going to stop. We will be doing events and getting out in the community with the current players that we have, and getting the businesses involved with the different social media campaigns and different posts that we'll be doing. So just trying to get the community involved more.
With players that you guys have signed, talk a little bit about Damon Patterson, who we saw you guys just signed from the New England Patriots.
I have known DP ever since his time from the Patriots, and I was in college. I did an article on him in college, and that's how I met him. And he won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl as a member of the practice squad with the Patriots. Spent some time with Pittsburgh. Was actually up here with the Massachusetts Pirates for a little bit. So he has experience inside the walls. Pardon the analogy there. So he wanted to keep playing. And I said, DP, come play for us. Come play for us. This is a great football. This is a great football town. It's going to be very enthusiastic. Back in the spotlight. And who doesn't like the Texas Heat? So, but DP did some great things at Youngstown State. He gets in and out of his routes very crisply. He's got the size. He's got the size to go not outdoor football outside the numbers, but make those jump balls, but also go inside and run those in cuts if you need him to. So his versatility really was what made us drawn to bringing him here.
Seeing that you're in Texas and the South, football is king.
Mm.
Depending on where you're at in Texas, it's football, God family, or God family football. It's in that order, depending on what part of Texas are you. Beaumont's very close to Lamar University, but down the street, the 12th man, Texas A&M is down there. Big Texas A&M population, I guarantee, in the region. Is there going to be any type of connection in trying to tap into the potential of that college atmosphere, especially the fans that may have that connection with Texas A&M? Will there be some theme nights that attract maybe some Aggie fans to come to the games this season?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You always want to intermingle the college crowd and the professional football crowd, whether it be the NFL or the NAL. I mean, no, absolutely. Absolutely. We're definitely going to have, different types of theme nights that are going to include, college colors, college colors. And sorry, I get distracted by the comments. I'm like, oh, I want to respond if that's a question. But yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
I just know that in Texas, it's Longhorn or Aggie. Well, you get further into the middle of state, you get Baylor and, the wannabe teams in Texas. They want to be like Texas and Texas A&M. But in the South, it's college football is king, football is king. And you guys are doing that red and black, so it's kind of familiarity with the NFL franchise just down the street, about an hour away in Houston.
Which one?
Yeah, the rivals of my favorite team. But it's a small location, nice little arena. It looks like the arena's pretty new. History there for that area for indoor arena football is not really prevalent. It's hit or miss. But this is just an observer for me, looking at other organizations that I've watched throughout this industry. There's certain things you got to tap into. If you can tap into the college fans, here's one way to attract them: beer. Beer. That's how you get them in the building.
Yeah.
But overall, I see that you got some NFL talent. Your connections up in New England. Were you originally from the New England area?
Yeah. Yes. I'm actually I live there half the year, and I live in Beaumont half the year.
That's a different. That's
Very.
weird. Yeah. Go from New England to Beaumont. Oh, again, that's like
not a lot of people have
northern
that on their
that-
bingo card. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of
Especially-
people that live up north when the winter starts coming, they head south. The
Yeah.
snowbirds. Like,
Yep.
oh, we love New England, but you don't stay up there for half the year, so you don't really love New England.
Yeah. Funny thing is, in the spring and the early summer, I'm in the Texas heat, but in the fall, I'm in the New England winter, which is terrible because even though I'm used to it, still hate the cold, still hate shoveling snow when you have to, and with the Patriots not being what they were, it makes it less tolerable.
Agreed. I always respected the New England Patriot organization. And yes, Matt or Jeff, they know that my professional allegiances reside in the Boston area. I'm a diehard Celtic, Bruin, Red Sox. Patriots, I look from afar because I was a huge Tom Brady fan. Yes, I'm one of those guys. I'm the one who followed Tom Brady when he went to Tampa. I followed him to Tampa.
You see his first broadcast?
I don't. A little breakdown, folks. Here, a little NAL breakdown of Tom Brady's first game. It's like how we talked about on Inside the Sharks podcast about Nick Saban's first time on College Game Day. I
didn't like it.
That's a similar like Brady. He knows what the offense is about to run. He knows what the defense is playing, but he can't say it because he doesn't want to ruin a play. That's why Tony Roman was so good the first couple of years, because he was calling every single play. Because, oh, this is triple I motion slant route. Oh, this is screen. And he was calling the play before the play even happened. And CBS is like, yo, stop. No, we can't. Now he's getting I don't know, Jim. He knows what's going on. And Brady, I think, would do the same damn thing. But
so you're saying that Tony Romo got better? Because I hated that he would do that.
Well, You despise the Cowboys because you're a Packer fan.
No, I just didn't like that he would tell me what play was happening, because then why do I need to watch the game?
Well,
Malik Willis, QB1. Huh, Matt?
Malik Willis. Yeah, that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother day.
I don't know. Your savior Ryan Tannehill may be coming to save the day. hey, don't worry. We can be like Jeff. He doesn't even have a starting quarterback. Even his back.
I was going to say, don't ask me about Brady's first game, because I didn't. Unfortunately, I'm a Browns fan, and I say unfortunately. My loyalty is there.
Yeah,
so
Jeff,
I didn't like it
today.
Yeah.
This week.
Yep.
Kadarius Toney is there. You're saved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll be in the stadium on Sunday, by the way. when the Browns come to Trevor Bank Field here in Jacksonville.
I see what you did there.
No, they renamed the stadium Trevor Bank Field.
It's great
for a one game thing. Big news here in Jackson. I'm like, oh great, watch them lose, and everyone's gonna make fun of them. Prima donnas, I swear. Can everyone just having Patrick Mahomes like they do in Madden? They only play with one team. Can everyone just Kansas City's playing Kansas City today in Kansas City? Like, can we just do that now? But anyways, get back into the NAL. This is the NAL. We're not the NFL. There's a lot of NFL shows out there. I don't want to start going and talk about the NFL because I'm not a clout chaser. I don't jump leagues and trying to get ratings. And claim like I know what I'm talking about. I stick with the NAL. Sam, season's coming up in March. We got a 10-game schedule. Guys, what is the team identity? What are you trying to build in Beaumont? What's that type of team identity that you're trying to focus on? Because a lot of teams have different. Like, if you look at last year in the NAL, Omaha was more like we're going to spread it out and run the ball on you. Sioux City was more like we're going to run the ball and pass the ball. What type of mindset, type of team that you want to construct in Beaumont for the 2025 season?
Well, I know Ricky, Coach Rez, and everybody is watching, so I don't want to give away the coach's plans and everything that was discussed or anything like that. But the team identity is just it's all about every man on the field. It's all about every man on the field. It's not about having one superstar, and everybody contributes. Everybody contributes, whether you're the third receiver on the depth chart first. Everybody does what they need to do. Obviously you want to score points. So, we're putting a lot of emphasis on our recruiting with the defense. I mean, we haven't seen it on the transaction. Haven't seen it on the transaction wire yet. But we're definitely looking at some key defensive pieces to really hold points off the board and have the personnel on offense to score over 40 points a game.
So we talked a little bit about, the color scheme and everything like that. And you did say uniforms are coming and things like that. Is there a mascot in the mix, or could we see a renegade? Or is it an actual person, kind of like most other teams do as well?
We haven't really talked about that yet. We've been too busy with which league we were going to play in, and building the roster and interviewing candidates for head coach. So, but I'm sure we will get to that within the next month or so.
Matt, any questions?
Do you have any kind of timetable as to when you guys want to have your head coach in place and that kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. We hope to have our head coach within the next week.
Coach Rez said you don't need a mascot because he's already dead. Because he said the dead skull.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Was it Ghost Rider's kind of a renegade?
Mm-hmm.
It was a dead guy with fire coming out of his skull. But I think that'd be copyright infringement, though.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Marvel will be like, no, it ain't happening. They're picky
Can't
on
call him
stuff.
Blaze the Renegade. Nope, can't do that.
Nope, can't do that. Well, Sam, anywhere fans can contact the organization, get tickets, get more information. The floor is yours, where they can go find information for that.
Yep. Well, we our new website, our newly improved website. Yeah, Nick, he does every movie. I just saw his new movie Arcadian. It's pretty good.
Hence, he's in every movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go to BeaumontRenegades.com. See us that we're getting a new website made with the league format. Go to Beaumont Renegades FB on Instagram, Beaumont Renegades on Facebook, on X, it's now called. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna let people know when tickets are on sale. We're organizing prices and all that with the arena as we speak. In terms of being in the NAL, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I can't wait to shake the hands of all the coaches that I annoyed and blew up their phones with as an agent, trying to get players placed. And apologize in advance for my enthusiasm, for my enthusiasm and my passion for getting players placed. And I embrace how it's annoying, and I apologize in advance, but it's just like, hey, you want to get something done.
Agreed. I feel that. Sam, I appreciate you joining. I know you guys are going to hit the ground running, trying to get you guys ready for the 2024 season, because we're in September. October is just around the corner. In the blink of an eye, it's going to be March. We do have some eager head coaches that want to beat the crap out of each other on the field, because that's what you do. You sell it on the field. That's in March. So word of advice, don't throw haymakers at teams, because people take a lot of receipts, especially Coach Rez. He's known for, how do I phrase it, Jeff? Throwing strays at everybody.
They're in strays, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what Rez does. But again, welcome to the league, my man. If you need anything, reach out to me. Reach out to Matt. Reach out to Jeff. We're associated with the league, so we're here to help you guys. We'll be promoting you guys throughout the offseason and during each week, and we might end up in Beaumont for NAL game day, depending on how the format and the schedule lands. Those dates will be announced later. But again, Sam, I really appreciate it. You're in New England right now, am I right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. Safe travels when you come back down to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who are watching in Texas right now, hopefully the storm avoided your area. I do know in Jacksonville, we have had a total of 24 inches of rain in 7 days. We didn't even get hit by a hurricane. We're just getting flooded out by all the extreme rain. And we got another 6 inches of rain for the next 2 days. So we're really saturated here in Jacksonville. But again, safe travels down to Beaumont this upcoming, I don't know, when are you going to head down to Beaumont? In a couple months?
The 24th is the press conference. So
so in a couple weeks. That's right.
Yep. I think the commissioner laid out the timetable with 12 days. So I'll be down there in 10, 11 days to prepare for the press conference and be there the 24th.
Good. Well, safe travels, my friend. Welcome to the National Arena League. And if you have any disagreements with this podcast in any way, message Matt. He controls all the HR. He talks to me all the time about how bad I am. But no, just kidding.
Freedom of the press, guys. Freedom of the press. I'm not here to try and censor anybody. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. You're awesome.
Appreciate it. Be well and safe travels, and look forward to talking to you more in the future and more about. Hopefully, we get a couple players on your team on the show throughout the year to promote your team. And good luck in the 2024 season.
No, absolutely. Anything you need, just give me a call.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
Well, we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along. Well, we flew through Cincinnati and we all got really happy. Grabbed a bowl of that Skyline chili along the way. Then we rolled on into Canton, scared the hell out of Marilyn Manson, and the party started.
Third and final segment here of Inside the Walls podcast. And yes, you see that QR code. We have an active website, inwallsnet.com, where you can watch all your favorite Inside the Walls Network shows from Inside the Walls podcast, Prime Cuts of Omaha Beef Season 2. Season 3 is about to start here pretty soon. And some show that me and Jeff do up in William. We really don't care about through the wire. Visit inwallsnet.com for more information of upcoming content. And, of course, we can't leave the show without announcing what we did kind of announce it already earlier this week, that the Inside the Walls Network has partnered with Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi will be having a show here on the network and streaming this fall in a couple of weeks. We are currently working on a name title for the show, and it's not going to be a coach's show. It's going to be an overall production about Corpus Christi Tritons. That's their show. It's going to be here on Inside the Walls Network. And here's a hint. There are more shows coming. Don't tell anybody. So NAL content, go to inwallsnet.com. QR code on the screen. No, it's not. Now it is. QR code. Bam. You got it. There we go. And visit the website itself. There will be announcements on the website about our future locations where we do NAL game day this year. We cannot give you the locations and times where we're going to be at, but it will be on the website. And, of course, it'll be announced on here and all the other Inside the Walls Network productions. Matt?
I'm excited for the 2025 season. We'll see where the league ends up as far as a number of teams, but I know the ones that have been added are a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to some of these markets and seeing, where we get to go and where we get to travel this spring with the National Arena League.
Jeff, who cares about you?
Good. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. Go check out the website. I mean, it's an awesome tool. Check out all your shows. Check out some stuff about all the hosts and co-hosts of any Inside the Walls network shows. So it's a great thing. Jim, you did a heck of a job putting it together. It was cool to see everything and, finally see it in visual form on a website. And
also, you can watch all your shows. Even the live stream right now is live on the website. And merch store is on there too.
Don't forget to buy our merch, guys.
So
yeah,
it helps us, helps you guys. inwallsnet.com. And Coach is telling you to keep receipts there, Jeff.
I got a notebook. I'm keeping score.
Okay. To wrap up tonight's show, we've been because we got Commissioner and we had Sam from the Renegades, and to the 45 people who are currently on viewing us, excuse me, not me. I'm not some. Thank you for joining. We have 3. What?
Yeah, that was a ring conversation we were talking about earlier.
He said he was keeping receipts, so I just
because he said he wears size 10. I said so do I. He can wear my miner's ring next year, and then he mentioned they have 3, so that kind of shut me up a little bit. But I don't get to take shots often, so that was my shot. I took it. I mean, it was a pretty good one. Coach Rez would be proud of that one. So
we should just rename the show. Go Inside the Haymakers or Shots Fired.
Start wearing referee shirts, man.
Yeah. and every time when the commissioner comes on the show, I'll just play Margaritaville as his intro song. So
There you go.
we'll start getting freaking copyright strikes left and right from YouTube saying you can't use this. I don't care. The show's going downhill. That's what we're starting doing. But we got to get talking about in the NAL, as we were talking about free agency. I know a lot of the people in the NAL community think of certain free agents as top-notch players, and you question other new guys that you don't see or are not familiar with. I had the opportunity to cover a certain quarterback last year from the state of Ohio, uh, who went on a honeymoon during the playoffs last year. He re-signed with the Willie Miners. He is a former AFL quarterback for the Columbus Destroyers. Thank you, Jeff, for correcting me. The team started with a C. It was either Cleveland or Columbus. Give me a break. Grant Russell signs with the Willie Miners. I don't give this title to a lot of quarterbacks in the industry. He is him. Same as Tommy Armstrong is him. Same as Caleb Barker is him. Sam Castronova is him. And Dalton Sneed. There are very few quarterbacks that get that title. Grant Russell is him. He's a guy who could take over a game. Honestly, he single-handedly beat the crap out of Peach State, not Georgia State,
Mhm.
Peach Cats
Mhm.
in the championship game. Jeff, we've talked to him many of times. We interviewed him on NAL Game Day live for the championship game there earlier this year. How's the excitement going up there in Wheeling for returning QB1?
Listen, we put the post out and it blew up. We posted it in the morning, and it just went everywhere. Everybody was excited. We were getting the messages. Hey, is he coming back? Is he coming? What's going on? Where's the quarterback? What's going on with quarterback? It's official. He's signed back in Wheeling. And one thing I can say is, like Coach Rez mentioned, he's a dog, straight dog, like just straight. He will compete every down. It doesn't matter. Whatever state, yeah, but no, he'll compete every down. It doesn't matter what the score is. He doesn't care that we were up by a few scores. I'll put it that way, a few scores. He's still fighting for a first down. I mean, he's seeing running room. He got helicoptered in one game. Went up, tried to dive for a first down, and get spun in the air. I mean, and I looked at him after the game and I said, Grant, do we really have to do that? Like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. He's a competitor. He loves to compete. It doesn't matter what it is. He's always competing and always trying to get better. And that just pushes his teammates. And that's one thing, that he is that leader. And his teammates see him doing that, and they want to do that.
Good point. Matt, I got your message behind the scenes, but Omaha is signing a lot of guys returning. There's on the transaction wire, so it's what are you feeling? What's the vibe in you getting out of Omaha?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of fans that are excited to see some of these, returning guys that we have signed to the roster. But I think the one glaring question that we all want to know here in Omaha is who's going to be QB1, because as you talked about, him, Tommy Armstrong, number 10. No, I don't think there's any argument that he's the best quarterback in Omaha Beef history, probably. And just what are we going to do to replace him next year? And as much as I want to say that I feel like he's going to get that itch in March, I've talked to him enough, and I've talked to enough guys that I think that he's probably not going to be back next year. And I'm confident that Coach Tatum and Ricky have something up their sleeves that we haven't even thought about yet. So
you just want him to have that itch so you guys get him back. But hey, I don't blame you. I really don't.
Yeah, right.
If you look throughout, if you go, ladies and gentlemen, the follow up-to-date transaction wire, go to nationalarenaleague.com/transactions, and you'll see everyone who's being signed. There's, for me, who's covered this league for a couple years there, you see guys, you're like, man, that's a good pickup. I know that, like, there's also guys you go, I recognize that name, but I can't put the face on. Then you actually look the player up, you're like, oh, that's him. That's the dude. I'm like, that's how this league is sometimes. You look at names and go, I recognize that name, but I don't know who it is. You get the video, you see the highlights, and you're like, oh, he's he's a dude, or he's a journeyman. He's been around the block, and you'll see a couple guys, especially in Sioux City. Sioux City's signing everybody who basically played for them last year. Other teams that like right now, Shreveport is signing almost every football player known to man. They continue to sign players. I think they're like at 33 guys right now. Idaho's signing a lot of guys that played there last year. Colorado has made a little sign. They got Whitaker back, their QB1, who lit up the scoreboard last year for Colorado. And then you got Almarillo, hasn't really done any. I think they signed one player finally, or two players, so they're getting into the mix. Keep track of that. National Arena. And of course, follow us on all social media platforms at NWallsPod. Go on the website, nwallsnetwork.com. Jeff, Matt, myself, and a couple other people who are working with the network will do blogs, our opinions on game breakdowns or opinions about future schedules or whatever. Tune in there. I did a quick write-up on Grant Russell. So the network is for you guys. It's dedicated to the NAL most 90% of the time, with the Inside the Sharks, the San Antonio Gunslingers, and one of the shows of Green Bay Blizzard. So we are an indoor network, but all the content for the NAL is through the Inside the Walls podcast, Inside the Walls network, and on our YouTube pages throughout. So NWalls Pod. Final words there, Jeff.
Just excited. Happy to see a 12th team. I'm excited to see, what the layout is. Divisions or, subdivisions. Who knows? I mean, with 12 teams, a lot is possible. I mean, there's a lot of, and there could be more. Who knows? I mean,
I know the layout. All roads lead to Willie.
Hey, I like that idea.
look at
I'm just excited for the matchups, and I really like kind of to talk about like what the commissioner talked about. I really like the fact of there's teams that are in kind of hubs, so to speak, to where you're going to see fans traveling to other games, and that's going to be awesome. Like, it's sometimes you look at games and go, okay, there's a lot of home fans there, and you barely see any away fans. This coming year in the NAL, you're going to see away fans. You're going to see teams travel, and not just for, Omaha and Sioux City. Like, you're going to see, these other teams go at it, and fans travel and different things like that. So it's going to be a cool atmosphere and definitely be around.
Matt, before you put your finger up.
No, I agree with Jeff. I'm excited to see the schedule when it comes out and see kind of what some of these matchups are going to be. I'm really excited to see if there's going to be, like you talked about with regional matchups, are we going to get that traditional like home and home feel, or are we going to get like a few years ago in the league we had, or in the CIF or whatever, we had like Sioux City and Omaha played 3 times, and so how did you balance who got the extra home game? But I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with this schedule and this league going into 2025, and just prove that this is a legitimate league that fans can be proud to be fans of.
One of the things that the commissioner did say that he is hoping that the postseason has 8 teams. 8. That means 4 teams get home games in the first round.
Hey, there's nothing like playoff football. I like it.
Yeah. So 10-game regular season with a preseason or exposition, whatever. So 12, 13, probably 14-week-long season with all the bye weeks and scheduling issues.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, and you get the 8-team playoff. The question is it how, the thing we don't know is the setup. Is it 4 at 1, 2 at 3 West, and in the East bracket, or is it 8 at 1, 4 at 5, 2, 7, 3, 6?
And then what is the qualifications to get into the playoffs? Is it top 8 teams? Is it depending on what goes on? I mean, you know what I mean? Is it NFL style? Is it win your division and you're in? It who knows?
Well, if you win your division, you better be in. This is not the college football playoff.
If there's divisions.
Okay, yeah. But this ain't the college football playoff committee. We're not going to leave out an undefeated conference champion.
Somebody's still salty.
If there's a NAL football committee selecting the tournament, if I have a grudge against a team, I'm intentionally leaving them out. I don't care if they're undefeated. Well, Jim, they're 10-0. I don't care. They played nobody. But you're letting the team that's in their division. It's 9-2. Yeah, they played some. They played the same schedule. No, they didn't. They had quality losses. The 2 quality losses. But damn it, Jeff. Yes, I am still salty.
Hey, listen. I'm the same way, buddy. Don't even get me started. That's
We've lost
another
3 in a row
podcast
since.
for another. That's another podcast for another time.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
is he taking shots?
Yeah.
It's not right. It's not right. We suck, okay? I can admit that. My alma mater stinks. We are now a baseball school.
I'm not accepting that, Jim. I'm not accepting that.
Fine, then we're a softball school.
Yeah, fair enough.
I do know this, some inside information for you college football freaks. The ACC had an emergency president's meeting this past day. Florida State wasn't invited or was in the actual meeting. You don't have an emergency meeting with your college presidents, and one of the schools is not in there. Things are moving. So Big Ten will be there in 2 years, bro. Florida State, Iowa State. Florida State, Iowa. I just pissed off Matt. Hawkeye. We all have bad.
How dare you?
Yeah. Hey, we lost to Boston College. Well, I know the pain. And Georgia Tech, who then lost to Syracuse. God. My football season ended before it even started. And my Jaguars stink. Facts. Facts. But anyways. Gents, family, friends, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Inside the Walls podcast. We will be back next week for a special episode. These 2 gents have no idea what the show is about. Steven Shatola, the head guy in media for the National Marine League, will join the show. Jeff and Matt will be interviewing me and Steven. It's going to be called Then, Now, Future. With the NAL, when me and Steve were there, me and Steve have been in the league since 2017. So we know how the NAL started, and we know all the transitions go. So it's going to be back and forth about the NAL then, now, and what we think in the future. That's Steve Shatola, who works for the National Marine League, myself. So these 2 gents will have control of the show next week. Same time, same place.
Inmates running the asylum.
Really? I'm a prisoner next week. Now, okay, well, the show's over. We're not doing it anymore. We're done. We're done. Gotta rip up the contracts. We're done. Look at that. No.
Hold on. You guys signed a contract?
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great episode. But before then, the chat was lit today, from the coaches to the players and to the fans and to the chat that's behind scenes with the green room between these fools. This is a pleasure. It's an honor. I love doing this. We're authentic. We tell you straight. We don't give you BS stories, because without authenticity, the game that we love is not appreciated. When it's being presented to be fake and lies, you lose its mustard. Thank you. Appreciate everything. Again, Josh calls me the GOAT. I know I'm the GOAT. No, he's talking about Steven Shatola, not me. You know, thank you, Coach Rez. That's how we end the show. Right next to JC Penney's and Dillard's. Yeah. Peace. Let's see if I can find the exit. Here's the exit.